Welcome to RPG Book Club, the podcast where we play a little bit of a video game and talk about how it makes us feel. I'm Sam.
I'm Bernard.
And I'm Trish.
And today we will be continuing our coverage of Golden Sun, playing until we reach the end of the first game. But before we get started, how was everyone's week?
On Friday, I saw Wake Up Dead Man in a theater, which wasn't easy because Netflix is bullshit about theatrical releases, but I did get to see it at a theater. Trish, did you say same?
I did. I went and saw it last week. I saw it on Thanksgiving.
It's so good, right?
It is. I don't think it's my favorite Knives Out movie. I think that might still be Glass Onion. I need to watch the movie a couple more times to be sure. But I think it is definitely the same. Like, I feel like, honestly, the quality on these movies are across the board, 10 out of 10s. And this one is the same. I love it so much. I don't want to spoil it for anyone. I think that's the most complex mystery so far, and I really liked it.
Yeah, when I saw the movie right afterwards, I was like, I don't know how I could possibly rank these three movies if I were asked. But since then, I've been thinking, and I keep thinking that maybe I think this one is the best one, actually.
Understandable. It's so good.
It's got themes.
I mean, they all have themes, but the themes
do.
here... The fun thing is, it feels like every Knives Out movie has come out at a very particular point, each different particular points in the horrible journey of the last 10 years politically. And
Yes.
Each one has a very different but important message or theme going on in regards to what it's like to be on the left in this country. The first one is very much about, like, the way that a lot of people who seem liberal will immediately turn coats if they can fuck over, if they feel like an immigrant is threatening their what they believe is theirs.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one is about fucking tech oligarchs. And the new one's about something different, which is feels extremely poignant and necessary right now.
Yeah, and just the way some of the themes and the plot come together in a huge climax right at the exact same point in the exact same lines.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible writing.
Yeah, we saw that. So for Thanksgiving, my partner was visiting all of the week of Thanksgiving, basically. Literally like a whole 7-day visit. It was wonderful. And she and I, for Thanksgiving, we just drove to the nearest theater that was showing Wake Up Dead Man, which was an hour away.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, we went to fucking Rhode Island to go see this movie.
Jesus Christ.
I think again, that's only an hour away. I'm from the West Coast. That's not that far away, honestly. But over here, that's far away. But yeah, we saw Wicked first. We saw Wicked for Good, and then that. My feelings on Wicked for Good are not nearly as positive. It was like, that was a decent movie.
Yeah, it kind of really let me down because
Fair.
The first one is like impeccable, one of the best movie experiences of my life, and the second movie is a clip show whose message probably shouldn't have been said in 2025.
Yeah.
I don't even remember the second act of Wicked.
The thing is, from what I keep hearing about the second act of Wicked, I feel like in a lot of ways the movie was trying to, like, fluff it up and make it better. And I feel like in some ways I do think it maybe succeeded, but, like, God, you're really trying to polish a turd.
Yeah. I think cutting the thing at the end of the first act is a complete story, and we didn't need the second half.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think you got everywhere you needed to. There were enough references to what would happen next without you having to see what happened next.
It's also so wild that they go through this effort. I feel like this, unlike Knives Out, this movie I don't mind spoiling in any way, shape, or form for people. Yeah. It is wild to me that they go through all this effort with the Tin Man to, like, make him as close to the 1930s original Tin Man as they fucking can. Not just visually, but the sound he makes as he clanks around. It's incredible. And then fucking Fierro as the Scarecrow. Just nothing. No effort was made.
Yeah, it's bad.
Which is a good summary of Fierro in general, but
Yeah,
God.
ironically, the two new tracks that they added were the second and third best track, the
I
best
was
one
gonna say,
being
I
For
was
Good.
gonna, I was gonna fucking say, like, I came out of the movie and I was like, wow, No Place Like Home might be my favorite of the songs, and my girlfriend who's actually seen Wicked was like, that was original to the movie, and I was like, oh my fucking god,
Yeah,
Were the new
kidding me?
songs by Stephen Schwartz or
yeah.
by someone else?
He came back and wrote new songs.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
The thing is, like, No Place Like Home actually hits on some of the things thematically that I wish the movie actually did more.
Yeah.
This idea, because it's really just a song about, like, when you're in a fucking fascist dictatorship and you know people who are like, yeah, I'm just gonna get the fuck out, I'm leaving, I'm moving to another country. And you're like, I understand, but also, don't you want to try to fight to make this better? And how for some people, especially vulnerable people in populations who are being especially hit by the regime, no, they don't want to do that. You can do that on your own, actually.
Yeah. And
And it's
then
like, good.
the other new song, it was "Girl in the Bubble," Ariana's song, which was
That was
very,
that was
very good.
that was good, yeah. Yeah, very good song.
But like every other song, just washed over me. Was not
Also,
good at
also
all.
they just it feels like they did so much, even more than the first movie, to like turn the vibes up between the girls to 11.
Mhm.
Like really just as much as possible being like, yeah, let's make these bitches seem really gay. And then the fact that they keep the plot with Fiero, mostly to what it is in the play, where like there's a whole the plot gets deviated because of them fighting over him. It just feels wrong.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? You're both fighting over this loser.
Yeah.
They have no chemistry with him.
Yeah. Yeah. That movie just the kids really liked it, and Bubba says that it's his favorite of the two, and he's little, so he's allowed to be wrong.
I
But
was gonna say, like, I had a bunch of wrong opinions when I was young. Yeah,
and so
I still have some people believe.
we watched it. We did we were going to go and watch it in theaters, but we forgot that the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, when we had set aside to do it, is the cheapest day on the second biggest movie week of the year. So everything was sold out for like an hour around us. So we watched it anyways. And because we were watching it anyways, but we couldn't go to the theater, I made like movie theater nachos for the kids, and we made popcorn, and we had movie candies, and we did all of this stuff to like make it awesome. And while I was making the popcorn, I put on like upcoming trailers, and then when the popcorn was done, I put on "Let's All Go to the Lobby," and everything was awesome. And
Let's all go to the lobby.
I was like, all right, let's sit down and let's watch this thing. And then when it was over, I was like, I wasted my fucking nachos on this. I went all out to make this this movie night awesome, but they didn't meet my level.
Oh man, trailers.
You put more effort. You put more effort into the fucking filmmakers did.
Yeah.
Trish, when you saw Wake Up Dead Man, did they show a trailer for No Other Choice?
The name doesn't sound familiar. But also, I had to go directly from Wicked to that. No, I think we still had time before the like they started doing more stuff. So yeah, I guess I did not see a trailer for that as far as I'm aware, unless I forgot.
It's this like Korean thriller movie that looks really fucking good.
That does sound really fucking good, though.
It's a satirical black comedy thriller film, according to Wikipedia, and what I got from the trailer is it's about a guy killing people so that he can get a job because he needs a job and there are other people applying for it.
Incredible. Oh, wait, I saw that. I've seen a trailer for that, but in front of something else completely. That movie looked so interesting. I'm super down for it. That reminds me, at my at the library, I recently saw there was a DVD for something. I can't even remember what it was about, but I noticed it was by Bong Joon-ho, and I couldn't be like, "Oh shit, new Bong Joon-ho movie? I didn't know he made a new movie. I'm interested." I haven't even seen very many of his movies, but like, I'm always intrigued.
I haven't seen Parasite.
I haven't seen Parasite either. I really need to.
I feel like I should probably watch Parasite.
Yeah.
And also, I really want to see Mickey 17.
Oh, Mickey 17 is the one I saw at work, and I was like, "What is this?"
Yeah, that one came out this year, and it looks wild.
I read the synopsis, and I'm like, "Oh, this is interesting." And I read on the back Bong Joon-ho, and I was like, "Excuse me."
Yeah, I haven't seen Mickey 17 yet, but I'm excited to, because the other day I was watching Parent Trap with Lindsay Lohan, and I was texting my brother about it, and I was like, this movie is way too old to be flexing this hard on all the special effects in the movie of having Lindsay interact with herself. Like, it is, there are so many times where, like, she fixes her own hair and shit like that. It's kind of insanely good. And he then told me that I should watch Mickey 17 because Robert Pattinson has a threesome with himself.
God, the best words ever spoken.
Yeah.
I was about to say the most impressive iteration of that I've ever seen is in The Good Place when one character kisses themselves, but it sounds like Mickey 17 goes further than that.
I mean, I would also say Sinners. All of the acting with himself Michael B. Jordan did was really good.
I haven't seen Sinners.
You both need to fucking watch Sinners.
I would have gone to the movies and watched it in a theater, but my eyes were broken when it came out.
Oh, I do have to say, like, I can't believe I'm saying it because I just saw Knives Out, but I think Sinners is still the best movie this year. Like, it's still. I loved Knives. I loved Wake Up Dead Man. Wake Up Dead Man was incredible. Sinners is like, yes, I've watched it like 6 times, and I'm going to watch it another 6 more in the next year, probably. I love it so much.
Mm-hmm.
Other stuff that's happened in the last week. I love that we just, like, breaking our usual format, just spent a bit just, like, riffing off of each other instead of taking turns, but it worked. But yesterday, so I got news this a while ago. There is in the nearby city of Worcester. There is I have to pronounce it that way because I'm a asshole now. I'm still probably pronouncing it wrong too. There's the clinic I go to had a support group for local trans folk, and I was like, I would love to touch grass and get to know more local trans people, and I did that yesterday, and it was lovely. And 3 of them and me all added each other on Discord immediately after the meeting. The other 2 people at the meeting don't use Discord. They are not nerds.
You can be trans and not be a nerd? I thought that's
it's wild.
I thought that's how you egged was first. You're like, you know what? I think anime's pretty good, and then number 2, you're like, I think I'm the wrong gender. I thought that's how it worked.
You'd see that's what you'd think, but there are some, but they're really cool. I also discovered apparently, the Walking Dead stuff is frequently filmed in Worcester. And so I met someone who does like background acting on that show, which is so cool. Even if I don't give a shit about Walking Dead, that's still neat. So that happened yesterday. It was really fun and cool. Today I go into work. I'm a couple hours into work, and I realize, truly apropos of nothing, I'm not doing anything. I'm just walking around, and suddenly I have the horrible realization, I'm not wearing a bra. I accidentally went braless because I was an opening shift. I woke up very early. It slipped my mind. Luckily, I was wearing enough layers that it wasn't super noticeable, unless I use stairs, in which case I immediately start breasting boobily. So yeah, when that happened, I just had like the most horrible nervous sweats of like, oh god, oh god, oh god. Please tell me no one notices. But yeah.
Yeah, the other stuff that happened to me this weekend is stuff I want to geek out about at length, so I will save it for the victory lap. So instead, let's talk about Golden Sun.
Speaking of things that are at length, let's talk about something that's not at length at all.
No, not at all.
that was a bit of a clumsy transition, but man, this sure is an abbreviated game.
Yeah, it is.
I'm so excited to talk about it.
Okay, so after we leave Bobby's place in Tolby, we technically we went to save Master Hammett, which had more of a plot than the ending of this game. So now we come back to meet up with Iadem, and we head to Sulhalla, which is a town to the south. And when we get there, we find that the guards that Bobby had sent ahead to the lighthouse are here in town, and they've gotten their asses kicked. They say that it was the sandstorms in the desert that kicked their asses, and when they woke up, Sheba was gone. I don't remember that Sheba was important to us, but apparently she was.
We mentioned her.
I think so. I completely had forgotten this whole time. But So they say that the desert sandstorms are caused by beasts who are weak to water, but they get pissed off if you get them wet. The others were able to defeat the beasts, and that's how they got through. We know the Douse synergy, so we're not afraid of anything, and we're not going to let the others get away, not when the Venus Lighthouse is at hand. So we head into the desert, fight a bunch of increasingly fuck you monsters, and make it through to the other side, where the guards at the gate in front of the Venus Lighthouse have also been fucked up. They indicate that they were fucked up by Felix and the gang, and we're like, damn you, Felix, and we vow to stop them. So we head into the Venus Lighthouse, and Garrett is like, looks like we can't continue until we have a new synergy, which sounds like he means to continue on and come back because our way isn't blocked. But what he means is you missed the hidden chest in the previous fucking room. And so I waste a lot of time going back and forth between the lighthouses for a while.
Yeah.
It's horrific in that way.
And trying to look, and it was hard because like I would look up like, okay, what do I need to do? And it's like, okay, I've been to the Venus Lighthouse, so I'll click the second Venus Lighthouse thing on the walkthrough, and it's telling me stuff that doesn't make any sense because I still needed to do something on my first visit. It was confusing trying to figure it out.
Yeah, it took me a long time. But eventually, you do find the Carry synergy, which lets you get to a large goddess statue who says, "Ye who seek to climb Venus Lighthouse, I shall grant thy wish. The path long closed shall not be opened here. That path begins far, far away, on the soil of an ancient people, with the sunrise to your left as you gaze upon the lighthouse," which is cryptic and detailed, but we already know that Bobby Lighthouse was built on the ruins of a previous Venus Lighthouse, so we don't need most of that hint. So we instead head to Bobby Lighthouse near the town of Lalavero. In Lalavero, we find more of Bobby's soldiers who got their asses kicked, and they say, we ask them if it was a group of 6 people who kicked their ass, and they say, no, it's a group of 7. So it seems that our adversaries have taken Sheba along with them.
I love that like way of being like, oh wait, is it these guys? Was it 6 people? No, it was 7. Shit, they're recruiting.
And what could our enemies want with Sheba? She has nothing to do with anything. Weird. So
she has been established as having fabulous secret powers.
Yes. We head into the Bobby Lighthouse itself, and we eventually find our way down into the ruins beneath it. There is a door that will only open for synergy adepts, so we waste like 900 text boxes saying, y'all can't come with me.
How is a game that has this little happening so long-winded sometimes? Like,
truly.
Trails, I get it.
Yeah.
But here,
especially because sometimes you'll go in and it'll be like, this is a big fight between us and the bad guys. And the bad guys are like, you suck. And we're like, no, you suck. And then you fight. And then they're like, later. And that's it. That's the whole scene. But this one was like, how does this door work? Let's take 15 minutes to discuss this fucking door.
I think it feels... Go ahead.
Twice, Farron, I believe is his name, comes around to the conclusion that we'll just be getting in your way if we go along. Twice we go through the whole logic puzzle of figuring out I'd just be getting in your way. Why couldn't we have just left it at the first time?
Yeah, it's crazy. And so as part of that, we realize that the door slams shut if anyone who's not an adept tries to go through it. But Sheba was also able to go through the door. So as you said, we knew she had some magic powers. Their synergy. So on the other side of the door, we find a similarly large goddess statue, and the floor in front of here is lit up in the same design that it was at the Venus Lighthouse, assuming that you did it in the right order and you don't come here after you find Carrie because you didn't find the other stuff after you had Carrie and try and pick up the lighthouse. God damn it.
I tried to interact with that lighthouse in every way I could.
So what it actually does is if you have opened the way in the next room, there were random blocks to jump across that you couldn't jump all the way across, but now they've lined up to take you to the other side. When you get to the other side, you are back at the Venus Lighthouse somehow. I don't remember if it's just implied to be a really long tunnel or if it was a teleporter or what, but you're back.
I think it's just a long tunnel.
Yeah.
There's lots of dungeon this week.
Yeah.
There's so much dungeon. I like a lot of the puzzles, though, when they're not making you go walk for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one in particular is really cool. It's basically the Twilight Princess water temple, but with sand. And it's very cool.
Twilight Princess water temple, aka one of the best water temples.
Yes.
Not the best. I think Skyward Sword is the best one, but that is something.
Eventually, we make it up to the top of the lighthouse, where we spy that all is not well in the ranks of our enemies. Felix is demanding that Satoros and Minardi let Sheba go, and they're like, no. Sheba is special, as she is a wind adept, which they will need to get into the Jupiter Lighthouse. So they cannot let Sheba go. They still need her for the next lighthouse, which they also imply will automatically unlock the Mars Lighthouse. But we have the Mars star, so I don't know what that's about. Maybe we'll find out next game. I don't know. Felix is like, well, that makes sense why you can't let her go, but let me at least take her to the ship so she'll be safe. And again, they're like, no, we can't trust you to take her to the ship because you just said you wanted to free her. And Felix is like, well, then I guess I have to fight you. And they're like, dude, it's canon that we have never let you participate in any of the random battles. You have not gotten any experience points this entire game. You're going to start the next game at level 1. You're not ready to face us. We're the final boss. Our team is like, oh, Felix might not be ready for the final boss, but we are, and we run over to help him. Felix is like, I don't need you to rescue me, and Satoros and Minardi are like, yes, you do. You suck. And we're like, well, we made a promise to protect Sheba, so we won't let you hurt Sheba or Felix. They ask Sheba to read our minds and see if we've brought the shaman rod with us, since they'll need it for the Jupiter Lighthouse. We are like, okay, if you let Sheba and Felix go, we'll give you the shaman rod since you need it, which is stupid. And no amount of protestations from Isaac does anyone agree that this is stupid.
You're like, everyone, please don't. Every other character. But we should, though.
So Satoros agrees. He says, if you give me the rod, no harm will come to Felix or Sheba. So we give Felix...
really not being very... Satoros really isn't like being very clever about this. It's very clear that he's just saying no harm will come to her. He's not weaving a tapestry of words to befuddle us.
No, we're just stupid. Because, of course, it was a trick. He said he wouldn't harm them, not let them go. Besides, if they were to release Sheba, she wouldn't be able to make it back to Lalavero alone. Which is so cool and such a badass thing to say because he's going to kill us, so we wouldn't be able to escort her. It's pretty cool. So we fight. How was the first of the 2 final boss fights for you guys?
I mashed attack with 3 characters, and I mashed heal all with Mia.
Yeah, that didn't work at all for me. What about you, Trish?
I focused fire on Pretty Girl until she go down, and then I took out the other guy.
Yeah, it was difficult for me. I don't know if I'm under leveled or what, or if I'm trying too hard, and because I'm trying too hard, it's messing me up. Because I do know that unlike in a Shin Megami Tensei, this game is bad, and debuffs of all sorts don't work on the final boss. And it took me a while to realize that it wasn't working. It wasn't doing anything. And so trying to interact with the mechanics, I think probably just lowered my DPS. And so it took me a lot longer, but it was fun. That's for sure.
I clocked this game as a not really pay attention to the mechanics RPG a long time ago. So.
Yeah, but when that was happening to you, me and Trish were getting our asses kicked by the Kraken. So I thought you were over leveled, but
the Kraken wasn't actually that easy.
Okay.
For me, the Kraken was a bit of a challenge.
After the fight, we moved to gather Sheba and Felix, but Felix is like, "No, you just heard them. I need Sheba to light the lighthouses." And we're like, "But we just took care of the bad guys. You don't have to do that anymore." And Felix is like, "Yes, I do. And I'm not telling why." While we try to convince Felix, Satoros and Minardi come too, and they are beat the fuck up. We're like, "Give it up, you're barely breathing." And they're like, "Conveniently, and with no further explanation, Earth Synergy also powers up fire adepts. So if we toss the Venus star into the lighthouse, we can Jogress Digivolve into a big-ass dragon." They tell Felix to take Sheba because this fight is going to be big and bloody, and they won't be able to protect her. So they turn into a big-ass dragon, and we fight. And this fight
dance happens.
This fight was incredibly difficult for me.
Mm-hmm.
I mainly just attacked and healed.
Yeah, I
did have to sometimes use Isaac to heal as well.
I had to use every revive item I had.
Yeah, his big fuck you move one shot Mia and Ivan. So I had to do a bunch of buffs on myself because he again is immune to all debuffs. So I couldn't do anything to lower his damage. I just had to up my defense and stuff. And so I had to do a lot of that to keep people alive so that Mia could heal all. And Isaac was my only one with revive because Mia has revive, but it's a Jin ability, so it has a cooldown. And so it was a lot of back and forth JRPG spiral shit, and I had to save scum, and if I ended a few turns and everyone was alive, I threw down a save state because it was very, very difficult. It took me not as many tries as the Kraken, but it still was an intense 15-20 minutes of my life.
I forget the exact name for the mechanic, but are y'all using the Jin abilities, like unleashing them or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
See, I don't think you're supposed to. Because when you use one, that lowers your stats because you no longer have the Jin equipped. And I think that is worse than getting the benefit of unleashing the Jin and then you doing the summon. I don't think it's worth it.
You might be technically correct. I wouldn't be surprised. But also,
I mostly only do it in boss fights, and I do it because I need the.
You need like a revive or something.
Yeah, need the utility of it. Ivan has one that lets you take 2 turns in a row, which is awesome.
Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah,
because I can do.
It's good.
I do that one, which is a Jupiter, and then the next 2 turns I use. Summon 2 Jupiter, so that on my third turn I can do a big ass summon, taking only 2 turns to prep it, which is pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
But the level 4 summons do 600 damage, so if you can get to one pretty quickly, you'll only be weak for a couple of turns, and you'll do a shitload of damage. So I tend to use them in
really
boss fights.
Yeah, no, that's what my strategy's been, to try to go into a circle to do those as much as I can.
But I found out in this final boss that there are no summons past level 4, so there's no point ever to take more than 4 Jin away from somebody. I did not know that, and I had Mia all the way down. I'd used all 7 of hers because she's the water adept, so she would do double damage. So I was like, all right, we're going to do level 7 thing. And she kept dying because her stats were so low, and she already was dying in one shot. So it was super hard to keep her alive. And then finally 7 were done. I'm like, take it away, girl. And she's like, level 4. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, I was wondering, man, I wonder what crazy ass graphics ass summons there are for level 7. I'm not going to be unleashing the Jinn to find out because I don't think it's worth it, but I imagine it must be crazy. But I mean, surely they can only fit so many summons on the cart.
Mm-hmm. And
there are limitations to a Game Boy Advance cartridge.
And those summons are wild.
They're really cool.
So cool.
One thing that I couldn't do for this boss that I usually do is if I try the boss just like first try and it doesn't go well for me, when I come back from the inn, I will in the menu unset all of my Jinn so I can do my big ass summons on turn 1, and then over the first two or three turns when the boss hasn't started doing his fuck you moves yet is the only time that I'm low in stats, and so then I'll get it back up and everything will go good from there. But you fight 2 bosses back to back in no time to menu, so I couldn't do it on this one, and it was difficult. After the fight, everyone realizes that we lost. This isn't Return of the Jedi. This is Empire Strikes Back. We survived the encounter, but shit does not look good for us. Felix is still determined to light all the beacons, and he won't tell us why. And another lighthouse has been lit, and oh shit, everything is collapsing. Sheba falls off the tower, and Felix jumps after her, and then the lighthouse stops collapsing. We wonder why, and then the party says, we'll never know. Let's not investigate. Let's go back to town. In town, we talk with Iadem, who says that in the earthquake, when the lighthouse was and then wasn't collapsing, the peninsula of Itajima, just to the south, was completely washed away, which is a weird thing for peninsulas to do.
And washed away, I did not realize how literally they meant that.
Yes. Iadem then asks us if we looked out to sea while we were on top of the Venus Lighthouse, like we promised Bobby we would. And Garrett says that he did. I never saw him do it, but he says he did. And he saw a big misty area in the middle of the ocean.
I mean, we're always giving Garrett shit, but like, he's good at remembering stuff. He remembered to look over there.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently.
That misty area is apparently Lemuria, and it's where we need to go so we can get the more of the draft to save Bobby's life. And we're like, but we need to go find Jinnah first. And Iadem is like, yeah, but wouldn't that be so much easier if you had a kick-ass boat? And we're like, it would be easier if we had a kick-ass boat. So we'll go save Bobby. And Iadem gives us the car keys, and we hop on board, and credits out of fucking nowhere. That's where the game stops.
Yep.
There's a bit of musing about like, oh, we've had such a long journey, but we've got so far to go. And I'm like, oh, yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, it's just so bizarre. I think the denouement was too long. I think if this part would have been at the beginning of the next game, that would be fine. Even if it's just like a cutscene and we don't get to play as these guys, that would be okay. But right now it's just like, yep, get ready for the next part, and you play for about an extra 20 minutes and credits. Very weird.
I don't know.
See, I think it probably would have been strong if it ended at the lighthouse, but I don't mind it ending where it did. The entire feeling I got, especially as we were doing all the stuff at the top of the lighthouse from then on, the feeling it gave me the most was it felt like the season finale of a TV show more than the ending of a video game. Like this very feeling of like, this is very big and climactic feeling, but also there's no way the plot is going to wrap up in time. We have to come back for another season later. Which I'm fine with, but I also understand it feeling weird and the pacing being off, because it is a bit off.
I also wouldn't have minded if the credits were one cutscene earlier. If so, while we're with Iadem, is like, oh, that misty place was Lemuria, and you need to go there to get Jinnah. It ending somewhere around there would have been a good cliffhanger for the next one. But it's the fact that it lets you control again, and you can walk around the town, talk to a bunch of people, do a bunch of video game stuff, then go talk to the guy, and then you get on the boat, and that's where the credits are. It's weird.
We probably should talk about the post-credits scene.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Well, technically we don't have to, because it is the very first scene of the second game, so we could say that if you want to.
Okay. Yeah.
But yes, there's a post-credit scene that shows that
Iadem was literally swept away. It is now a drifting island.
Mm-hmm. And on the drifting island are
not Idem,
the
Itajima or whatever it's called.
Itajima, yeah.
Idem is the guy.
Mm-hmm. And on Itajima, we see that Felix and Shiba have washed ashore, and Kraden, Jenna, and Alex are there as well. And it seems like Jenna and Kraden are no longer kidnapped. They are down with the clown to see what's going on with all of that stuff.
Can I say also, it is just very funny to me that, like, there's this bit in when you're like, I enjoy, and I think we should definitely talk more about the whole confrontation bit with with what's his name? We've been talking about Felix, yeah. I think that's all really interesting. But I also think it's really fucking funny that there's this whole conversation with him, and at one point there's a bit where it's like the other character's like, well, with those two losers we just killed gone, like, that's it, right? Everything's over. Like, they can't do their plan. I'm like, did you fucking forget Alex exists? Did you? He seemed like he was the one in charge.
Mia, surely you remember Alex, right?
Yeah. You could not have forgotten him.
Yeah. But after the after credits is the most memorable of the memorable moments, and it's where I wrote down a 256 long string. Because I'm sure that there probably is a way in the future to transfer it over, but it also would take just as much time to just do it. So I just did it by hand, and I still fucked up 3 times and had to re-enter over half of it twice and then fix one wrong character once. But yeah, it's a weird, but like, it's cool that you could do it because not everybody had a link cable, especially for the Game Boy Advance. I feel like a lot of people had him for the Game Boy, but I knew nobody that had one for the Game Boy Advance. And so not requiring
you and your friends didn't have a GameCube and 4 Game Boy Advances and 4 Game Boy Advance to GameCube link cables so you could all play Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles?
No.
Oh.
I really wanted the link cable that has the splitter in the middle so that we could do double battles in Pokemon or do 4 swords. But then the wireless link cable came out, and no one ever used the regular one ever again, because why would you? But yeah. I feel we've already transitioned into Min Moms. Good luck finding a place to put music. But
good luck, Future Bernard, you motherfucker.
In the scene that goes on for 15 minutes about the door, there's a part where they're like, all right, let's go in, and then they walk in and the door closes because they don't have Synergy, and Item's like, hey, the door's closing, and one of the guys is like, why did it close? And then the other guy's like, I don't know, why does anything close?
Also, I think it's that scene where they're like, well, why does it work for these kids and not us? And the adepts are all very clearly like, oh, we don't want to fucking explain Synergy to these normies. And Ivan says something like, it worked because we're us.
Yes.
Ivan is a weird little kid.
He's a very weird little kid, but I kind of love him. Oh, gosh. Oh, God, let me look at my... So, one thing I noticed, I think this came out before, but I didn't have the volume on loud enough, but I noticed this time, whenever a character has the little emote of a light bulb as they think of something, the sound effect is the power on noise for a Game Boy Advance.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love that. Also, something I realized is like after the first Lighthouse, you remember like halfway through this fucking game,
Mhm.
I because of how things went down there, I assumed we were gonna be in this situation where like we're constantly just like one step behind, like are constantly catching up to and having encounters with uh the antagonists. And I thought we could interact with them a bunch. And then we hit this stretch of the game where up until the second Lighthouse, you are like nowhere they're so much farther ahead of you. You don't people are like, oh yeah, I guess they were just here, but it's like it doesn't feel like they were just here. It feels like they're 2 miles ahead of you.
Yeah.
I really like when you beat Saturnos and Miardi the first time before they fuse. Oh no, after was it after they fuse? I think it's after they fuse. There's a point where like they get up and they're like trying to be like, yeah, we're fine, and they're like the sprite acting that is done to in the scene to show that they are barely able to stand and still very injured. It's just really well done.
Yeah, they do a lot with just the weird squishing and stretching sprites technology that they are so proud of in this game.
I think they were right to be proud of it. It looks nice.
Yeah. The not to spoil too much about me getting to the first safe spot in the second game, to make sure that my password worked. There's some wildly bespoke sprite animations starting off the game, which is fantastic, and I can't believe they wasted cartridge space on this, but I'm so glad they did, and we can talk about it next time. But hot take: Golden Sun has good graphics.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I in general, my thoughts on this first game. I can see why this captivated an entire generation.
Mm-hmm.
A generation I'm probably technically a part of, but I just missed out on.
Mm-hmm.
This definitely. I think like as an adult, like, is this the best JRPG ever played? No, of course not. But like, if we're grading on Game Boy Advanced, like, this is really fucking good. This is much better than I think anyone would expect out of a RPG on this particular console. And it's just really weird and flavorful in its very Camelot way. Could still definitely be better in some spots, but
Had I been, the same person I am now, if I were my age in fucking 2001 and I spent $30 in 2001 money on this game and it ended the way it did and I didn't know that it was half of a game, that came as a surprise to me, I would have been so pissed off.
Yeah.
If I'd gone in knowing it's half a game and I'm going to have to spend another $2001 on it, then that's how much a GBA game cost in 2001. $30 bucks.
Yeah, it was $30. 35
me,
35 was Pokemon.
Okay.
I wonder if we go to the Video Game History Museum's thing and we search for Golden Sun, if it was announced as a two-parter.
Yeah, I kind of hope it was, because that I feel like, some games, like what immediately comes to my mind is Final Fantasy 13 2. The fact that that was a surprise cliffhanger, as far as I know, that was really fucking cool. This it doesn't even feel like a cliffhanger. It just feels like it's just like, oh, okay, game's over. Buy another one.
You're just out of game. And what's even like more sinister about it is if you save your clear data, the only thing you can do is start a new game or transfer it to the second one. So you can't even just like keep playing and grinding or anything like that. It's like if you beat it, you have one chance to say, I'm ready for the second game. And if you do that, you don't get to play this one until the second game comes out.
Yeah. I mean, luckily the second game came out less than a year later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it really doesn't feel like I finished a video game.
No. It really doesn't. So I'm especially glad that I chose to do both Golden Sun games for winning Best of the Rest. Because imagine if this is just where we stopped.
It would have felt real weird. I was telling Trish, before we recorded, I went to the backlogged page for Golden Sun to put in my rating and say I played it and everything. And I saw one of the most recent reviews. It's in French, actually. And it's saying, like, apart from Persona and Shin Megami Tensei games, I haven't played a lot of RPGs, but this one seems sort of like bland and generic. And Trish and I were saying, like, yeah, you just like flavor blast your palate too much right at the start, and now everything's gonna feel bland. You don't have a refined palate that can appreciate blander flavors. You just like
Yeah, it's the opposite of the food tastes different to poor people problem, where like don't like green beans because real green beans don't taste like they should, because green beans need to taste metallic and have bits of bacon in them, because that's how they come in the can. And it's like the opposite of that, where it's regular food doesn't taste good to you because you've only ever eaten at 5-star restaurants.
I was describing it as like, for me, it's less about quality and more about like you start off on like the most experimental, weird side of this whole endeavor.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's like, I think this is a poor metaphor, especially because I have still yet to play this game. But it feels like if someone's like played played Banjo-Kazooie and was like, yeah, I don't know, it just kind of felt bland to me. And it's like, well, what platformers have you played? It's like, Hollow Knight and Silksong. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I think you used the word spicy, and I think it is more not that Persona and Shin Megami Tensei are better food, but they are certainly spicier food.
Yeah, it is like it's like you are adjusting your palate to like the weirdest shit to start with. So yeah, of course everything else looks bland by comparison.
Even though I do think Persona and Shin Megami Tensei, most of those games are better than Golden Sun, but still,
I would disagree.
But yeah, it's Golden Sun is a nice game.
It is a nice game. I can see it being the kind of game, like, I think back to, like, I was the kind of kid that I had Mega Man Battle Network 3, and I sunk way too much time into that. And I'm just looking back, and I'm just like, if I had this game as a kid, my god, I would have lost my mind playing this way, like, just over, like, I would have reached this ending and probably taken out the code and then just started the game over again.
You gotta get all 28 Jin.
Exactly, gotta get all the Jin. And gotta do whatever.
Gotta do Crossbone Island.
Crossbone Island.
Didn't talk about.
Yeah,
that's a thing that exists as a little extra dungeon. I know you brought this up in your notes, Sam. It still blows my mind in a actually not great way that the fucking rescuing Hammett plot is optional. Because it's like, that feels more plot important than actual things we had to do.
Wait, is it in the rescuing Hammett plot where we find out that the shaman's rod is important?
Yes.
So I guess if it had been like, if we hadn't done that, it just would have been like, oh, weird that these people want this lame-ass rod so bad. I guess you can have it. Sure, why not? I mean, one could probably intuit they want it it is actually important and they want it for bad reasons, but I don't think our party would intuit that.
No, definitely not.
Because our party is not smart.
I don't know what you're talking about. Garrett is clearly a genius.
So in the second game we have our 4 party members. We have Felix, Alex, Sheba, and Jenna. So what's his name?
Creighton. What was the old man?
Is he just also going to be there?
He's also there.
Just also following along,
or is he a party member instead of Alex?
At the beginning of the game, when I had saved, I have 3 party members in my menu, and because Alex is, it's not important. He's not like dead or anything. He's just not there at the very beginning. But Creighton is there, and he is not a party member. So
okay.
And also, the box art has Felix, Alex, Sheba, and Jenna on it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I haven't looked at the box art.
What do you mean? Didn't you go to Walmart and buy this game?
Yeah, definitely. No, I went to my library that I work at, and I did an interlibrary loan so I could get a Game Boy Advance game.
I see.
I'm not joking, but also a kid came up today and asked me to do an interlibrary loan so he could get the very first Assassin's Creed game. And I was like, do you have anything that can play PS3 or original Xbox?
So I pulled up the Video Game History Foundation's online library, and I found the Electronic Gaming Monthly where they did a preview for Golden Sun. And in the preview, it says, plus, Golden Sun is just one side of a larger story. A sequel, which will focus on the exploits of different characters, is due out next year. So before it was like the first time that they had ever seen it and talked about it, they knew that it was a two-parter. So
okay, that's good. They weren't given a false bill of sale or whatever the weird expression is.
No, I think that's right.
It also has a very short and succinct summary of the history of Camelot and talks about all of their stuff, including Shining in the Darkness. Is this a good enough primary source for you fucking Wikipedia editors? That page is unusable. Half of the links be like, oh, if you want more information, you need to go to the Sonic Software Planning page, which then links back to the Camelot page because they're the same fucking people. Anyhow, yeah, it's weird to be finishing a game and not talking about like the next poll or what we're playing next, but it's because we got more of this to go on to. If you like what you heard today, you can head on over to www.rpgbook.club, where any and all donations will help us offset the cost of running the show. If you decide to donate $1 more a month, you'll become one of our gadabouts and also get access to our bonus feed filled with after shows for every episode, as well as bonus seasons of the show, such as Tales of Podcastia, The Escape Pod, and the JRPG Canon. If you up your donation to $5 or more each month, you can become one of our warriors and get your name read at the end of every episode, a little like this. Shoutouts to Dragonslayer19, Freddie Rodriguez, and JFro Prime. And then if you really, really love us and you want to be one of our luminaries, you can donate $20 or more a month and get a short one-sentence shout-out or advert read at the end of each episode, a little like this. Shout out to Kildronis, who says to check out Podcasters Assemble. It is a documentary-style, crowdsourced movie hype and rewatch podcast. Every season, podcasters from around the world are assembled to review, reminisce, and riff on a popular franchise. And shoutouts to Vimk, who says, one hand was on the grip, the other on the locket of the sheath. And then shoutouts to It's Claire Time, who says, for you TTRPG nerds, check out Fabula Ultima. I'm not affiliated with the game, I just think it's neat. For RPG Book Club, I've been Sam.
I'm Bernard.
And I'm Trish.
Toodaloo, folks.
Bye-bye.
Shoutouts to Vimk, who says, his hand went to the long knife kept over one shoulder in a mold-splattered sheath, which he twitched to show a thin slice of blade. But at that, Gideon was on her feet with her scabbard held before her like a shield.
I believe you've done that one before.
Have I?
Sounded familiar to me, and I haven't read this book.
Last episode was the sentence before that.
Well, if you say so.
Yeah, I'm
not the one paying for this, so who cares?
And then shouts to It's Claire Time, who says, for you TTRPG nerds, check out Fabula Ultima. I'm not affiliated with the game, I just think it's neat. Oh, my notes weren't about Game of the Year. I think I did it in the Game of the Year. You're right. You're right.
I'm always right.
It's true.
Bernard is always right. It's true.